Pickets officially kick off. Two siblings arrested for illegal cockfighting. And Panda makes prediction on the winner of Winter Olympics. Those are the headlines for tonight. I'm Hari Zainuddin and this is TVS Nightline. A survey made by the Sarawak State Health Department involving 40,000 parents found that 59.7% of them agreed with the COVID-19 immunization program for kids or PICKITS. However, a total of 15% did not agree, while the remaining 25.3% were uncertain.
Sebab utama yang menyebabkan responden tidak setuju atau tidak pasti ialah risau berkenaan komplikasi, risau berkenaan keselamatan vaksin, mau diberi kelebihan untuk memilih jenis vaksin.
He said this at a press conference after launching the Sarawak Pig Kits at the Sarawak General Hospital. Meanwhile, Minister of Local Government, Housing and Public Health Dr. Sim Kui Hian said a total of 270,500 children in the state are eligible to receive the vaccine.
One of the reasons why we want to vaccinate the children is because the children have this multi-system inflammatory syndrome, in which the inflammation not only targeted the heart, they targeted the whole body, and so and it's important for the even though COVID-19 are milder, but this is a part of the multi-inflammatory syndrome which causes children can be very severely affected. And so I urge all the parents, because to help us to get the children vaccinated, because even children, a lot of children are very mild, but when they go home, they see the grandparents, they see those people at higher risk. Even a very mild Omicron can tip you over, because you already not that healthy. And so Sarawak has been so successful because of the spirit of solidarity. All the Sarawakian has been very positive about all this vaccination. And that's why.
Meanwhile, the vaccinations for children with comorbidity will be continued in both government and private hospitals throughout the state, and the dates will be announced from time to time. Starting from February 5th, children will receive their vaccinations either at their schools or at vaccination centers set up by the Ministry of Health.
In a related development, Deputy Chief Minister Douglas UGGAH clarified that the COVID-19 vaccination for school children is not mandatory and they are not required to be vaccinated in order to attend school.
That's why I said that this is a federal government punya policy. Sarawak, I don't think they put that policy. No, even now, the school open kan? And this 5 to below 12 belum they vaccinated. So that's why we are watching very closely what is happening in the school.
Now, parents have expressed their confidence that the PICKITS program will further strengthen their children's immunity, which is crucial since children are now allowed to return to school. This measure was also taken to ensure that the children are constantly protected from the COVID-19 virus. TVS crew conducted a survey on the vaccine administration to children in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah and Kuala Lumpur. And this is what they have gathered.
Tidak masalah, dan kami rasa lebih selamat untuk kena vaksin daripada bahaya kena COVID lah. Jadi semua pun pergi sekolah, dan kalau nak keluar rumah pun takut juga kalau tiada vaksin. Jadi lagi selamat kalau semua dapat vaksin satu kali.
Tapi sebelum ni memang selalu bagi vaksin juga kan, yang polio, yang that one minum kan, ada yang jarum juga, yang DPT, and then ada bawa flu vaksin juga. So this is not their first time datang vaksin lah. Hanya yang coronavirus is first time coronavirus vaksin lah.
A total of 11 children below the age of 12 in Sabah received their COVID vaccination at Likas Hospital on Thursday. In Kuala Lumpur, the majority of parents met by TVS in Kuala Lumpur welcomed the administration of the vaccine for their children.
Saya rasa dia sangat penting untuk melindungi kanak-kanak di negara kita. So dia pun selamat. Saya rasa ini adalah kita perlu menggalakkan lebih ramai ibu bapa untuk datang bagi vaksin kepada kanak-kanak kita.
Saya rasa baguslah untuk mengelakkan COVID seterusnya kan. Senanglah nak bergerak.
Pick Kids is aiming to vaccinate 4.1 million children, starting at Klang Valley before it is expanded in stages nationwide.
Now, parents are urged to closely monitor their children after their vaccination. According to public health expert Dr. Zainal Arifin Omar, it was the utmost importance for the parents to keep a close eye on their children for any adverse effects of the vaccine.
He added that side effects are issues that everyone is already aware of for any type of vaccination, including COVID-19 injection.
Betul, vaksin sekarang ni ada dia punya kesan sampingan atau side effect dia, ya, seperti sakit, tak cocok, dan mungkin ada juga setengah-setengah tu yang alergi ataupun ada juga yang mendapat alahan dan sebagainya. Dan yang kedua, seperti yang dinasihatkan dari luar negara dan juga kita juga, selepas kanak-kanak tu diberi vaksin, kita kena monitor lah supaya dapat lihat apa-apa pesan. Dan yang penting lagi lah supaya dinasihatkan supaya mereka ni tidak katakan menjalani hidup yang lasak lah, exercise ke ataupun terlalu lasak lah, sebab ini mungkin akan juga menyebabkan sedikit kesan pada mereka.
At the same time, Dr. Zainal reiterated that the Pick Kids program aims to reduce the risk of COVID-19 outbreak among children. Among the considerations for children to be vaccinated include the uncertainty of the COVID-19 situation, in addition to the fact that it continues to mutate with different infection rates.
The vaccination of children aged between 5 and 11 years old under the National COVID-19 Immunization Program for Kids, or Pick Kids, will be done on a voluntary basis. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said no restrictions will be imposed on unvaccinated children.
Khairi said this was to build the confidence of parents, as the ministry was aware that many of them were taking a wait-and-see approach before enrolling their children in Pick Kids.
Ini program yang sukarela, ya, secara sukarela, tiada apa-apa syarat wajib yang kita tetapkan kepada ibu bapa. Kita ingin membina keyakinan ibu bapa supaya mereka tampil untuk mendaftar anak-anak mereka supaya mendapat vaksin yang kita telah lulus, iaitu vaksin Pfizer yang akan kita gunakan.
He said this at a press conference after launching Pick Kids at Tunku Aziza Hospital in Kuala Lumpur. Based on research data, Khairi said the vaccine for children, which is 1/3 of the adult dose, will not cause serious side effects, but only the common ones, such as fever. Khairi said the vaccination was important to prevent multi-system inflammation syndrome in children, complications, long COVID, and death among children.
Selain daripada kelulusan yang diberi di peringkat negara-negara lain seperti FDA dan juga di negara seperti Singapura, Australia dan sebagainya, kita sendiri telah melakukan kajian terhadap data keselamatan dan keberkesanan di bawah NPRA dan juga di bawah Technical Working Group di bawah Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, dan kita pun telah memberi kelulusan dan mengesyorkan supaya vaksin ini selamat dan berkesan untuk kita gunakan.
Khairi described Pick Kids as the last piece of the puzzle for the national COVID-19 immunization program. He said his ministry's target was to give one dose of the vaccine to 70% of children aged between 7 to 11 years old and 50% of the total cohort of 3.6 million children aged between 5 to 11 years old. Since January 1st, there were 9,413 cases of COVID-19 infections involving unvaccinated children aged between 7 to 11 years old.
Meanwhile, at the same press conference, Khairi confirmed that his 6-year-old son has been registered to receive the coronavirus vaccine through the MySejahtera application.
Dua anak yang lain telah pun menerima vaksin sebab mereka remaja, tapi anak bongsu saya usia 6 tahun pun telah saya daftar dan insyaAllah akan menerima vaksin.
He said this in response to certain parties who challenged him to register his children to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Khairi added that the 8-week interval between the first and second doses was decided after taking into account several reasons, among them after examining data from various countries.
Ini adalah syur yang telah pun ditetapkan oleh kumpulan pakar kita. Walaupun ada negara yang sela masa dia adalah lagi singkat, tetapi kita telah pun kaji perkara ini dan mengambil kira keyakinan orang ramai, ibu bapa dan juga usaha untuk kita mengurangkan kesan samping ataupun side effect. Maka kita telah buat ketetapan longer interval. Tapi longer interval ini juga akan memberi kesan yang juga lebih baik dari segi immune response, dan kita telah buat kajian.
In a vaccination center in Kuala Lumpur, young kids sat nervously with their parents. Occasional yelps of pain could be heard echoing in the hall where the country kicked off the COVID-19 mass vaccination program for children aged between 5 and 11 years old.
It is part of the efforts by the country to protect the youngest members of its population. The Malaysia Health Ministry said on Thursday that in the past 6 months, 147,282 children aged between 5 to 12 years had contracted COVID-19.
I think it's a great move to get the kids that have not been vaccinated up until now to undergo this vaccination process, because it is good for them in order for them to be protected against the COVID-19 virus, and in doing so, it is also protecting the public at large. So it's a good thing.
The inoculation program is expected to boost the Southeast Asian countries' vaccination rates, already one of the highest in the region. Nearly 80% of Malaysia's population have received at least 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine, including almost 98% of the adults.
Now, Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin has filed a defamation suit against Dato' Lokman Noor Adam and Muhammad Rashid Muhammad Alwi, also known as Ustaz Abu Syafiq, over the COVID-19 vaccines which were uploaded on social media.
Khairi, 46, as the plaintiff, filed 2 suits separately at the High Court through Messrs. Rashid Zulkifli on January 25th, naming Lokman, 49, and Muhammad Rashid, 41, as defendants. Based on the statement of claim, Khairi, who is also Rembau MP, filed the suit in his personal capacity, alleging that Lokman had defamed him by uploading 2 videos with pictures on Lokman Noor Adam's official Facebook page on January 6 and making statements through 2 live posts on Facebook and Lokman Adam through YouTube on January 10th. Khairi claimed that Muhammad Rashid had defamed him by making 4 slanderous statements and posting 3 videos and a picture on Ustaz Abu Syafiq's Instagram account on October 20th, January 6th, and January 10th, respectively. The plaintiff further claimed that the libelous statements implied that he had lied to and cheated the public by claiming he had been given the COVID-19 vaccine and received a booster dose, as well as falsified information on the vaccination status. Khairi claimed that the defamatory postings had severely tarnished his reputation and integrity, thus reducing the public's trust and confidence in him, either through his personal or professional capacity in the eyes of the public. According to the plaintiff, the defamatory postings were against public interest and disrupted the effort of the Ministry of Health (MOH) and government in the fight against COVID-19 and affected the public's response to the pandemic, as well as the official data and facts provided by MOH to the public.
Setiap langkah Minggu ini, TVS membawakan kepada anda sebuah filem drama kerjasama dua negara, Malaysia dan Indonesia. Dewi yang tidak dapat melupakan kekasihnya, Adam, telah dibawa neneknya ke Masjid Nabawi. Sewaktu di Madinah, satu insiden telah terjadi. Bagaimanapun, Dewi berjaya membebaskan diri setelah dibantu oleh seorang lelaki dari Indonesia bernama Rehan. Pelbagai konflik dan kekeliruan yang berlaku apabila Adam kembali menagih cinta Dewi dan Rehan menyatakan perasaannya yang sebenar.
Saya cinta sama kamu.
Jangan lupa untuk menyaksikan Bukan Cinta Malaikat. Lakonan hebat Nora Danish, Ashraf Muslim dan pelakon dari negara jiran Fakri Albar.
Nama saya.
Sabtu, 5 Februari, 8.45 malam di TVS saluran 122 Astro dan My TV.
Yang kami faham pakai mask.
Jarak mesti at least 1 meter.
Wash hand frequently. Tak mestilah pakai facial mask.
Penjarakan sosial.
First of all, macam kita masuk mall kan, sini-sini kedai mesti scan.
Sentiasalah jaga doktor.
Kita jaga kita.
Kita jaga kita.
Kita jaga kita.
Kita jaga kita.
Welcome along to the Paul and Mala Ali Show, coming to you from our little country. This is a big show with a lot of heart. We got family, food, fitness, fashion and fabulosity. Join me as I share with you my little Brunei. Only on TVS Astro, channel 122 and My TV.
Welcome back. Residents in Bau and Batu Kitang areas are in dire need of streetlights, especially at night when the route, which has many road bends, is dark. In an effort to resolve the issue, a total of 285 solar energy streetlights will be installed along the Bau Batu Kitang route to prevent any accidents.
Mengikut laporan daripada data daripada pihak PDLM Bau, APD Bau, sepanjang 7 tahun, iaitu daripada 2015 sampai 2020 lah, 6-5 tahun lah. Jumlah kemalangan yang berlaku sepanjang jalan tersebut adalah 2014 kemalangan. 68 melibatkan kematian, 104 parah.
A total of 2 million ringgit has been allocated to build the street lights and work will start soon. In another development, Henry acknowledged the predicament of traders in his constituency regarding the insufficient place for doing business. Before this, a temporary place for 80 traders was built at Tasik Biru, but the number of traders has increased to 200 since 5 years ago. Henry said a suitable site has been identified for those traders.
Untuk yang penjajah kecil ni, sewa yang besar tu mereka tak mampu. Jadi kita kena sediakan juga untuk yang penjajah yang kecil ni. Okey, jadi dia ada banyak lapisan lah penjajah. Tak semua penjajah buat bisnes besar-besar. But we have to take care. But this is a very good initiative sebab mereka mempunyai minat dalam bisnes. To look for people to do business is not easy. But the moment they are there, we must support them.
Sekolah Kebangsaan Segong in Singai Bau will be relocated to a new site in Manas Biridoh area, Kampung Segong. The decision was made after taking into account the fact that the school is affected by floods every year. The new school will be built on a 12-acre land, which is only 5 minutes away from the present school location.
SK Segong headmaster Liu Boyong said the school staff and students welcome the relocation as it would end their predicament.
Sekarang ini hanya 2 orang yang tinggal di kuartus, itu pun kuartus itu sudah terlalu usang dan nak roboh sudah. Jadi hari itu pihak JKR sudah datang untuk memeriksa bahawa bangunan itu tidak selamat. Jadi memang banyak yang perlu dibaiki lah di situ. Itulah Datuk Heri mencadangkan supaya dipindahkan lah, selain daripada selalu kena banjir, tetapi juga dari segi infrastruktur dia yang tidak memuaskan.
SK Segong presently has 72 students and 18 staff. Meanwhile, the head man of Kampong Segong, Emi Munga, said SK Segong was established in 1963.
Tapak dia, lepas tu dia punya infrastruktur seperti jalan, api, itulah yang membuat dia agak delay sampai sekarang lah. Memang puas hati sebab jalan pun mau melalui sini. Lepas tu api pun sudah dalam 10 km sudah sampai sini lah.
Amy also felt relieved that the school was being relocated at last to a new and better area. Tasek Biru Assemblyman Dato' Henry Harry Jinnat praised the villagers who suggested and put in the effort to get a new location for the school.
Apabila kita sudah mengenal pasti tapak, terpulanglah pada pihak PPD ataupun KPM untuk membawa ke pihak atasan untuk bajet. Sekarang adalah perancangan. Tapak sudah ada, mereka boleh merancang.
Two siblings aged 34 and 38 years old were arrested for illegal cockfighting and gambling activities, while a few others managed to escape at Kampung Siang Siang Laut in Lawas. Lawas District Police Chief Deputy Superintendent Sila Kadong said the raid was carried out on February 2nd at around 11:45 a.m. by a team of police from the Lawas police station.
During the operation, he said the police confiscated several halo gambling paraphernalia, which included a canvas clothing with animal pictures printed on it, 3 dice, a wooden table, a plastic chair, and cash amounting to 485 ringgit. The police also seized 2 dead cockerels believed to have been used in the illegal cockfighting activities. The case is being investigated under Section 7, Bracket 2 of the Common Gaming House Act 1953 and Section 3, Bracket 1 of the Cruelty to Animals Prevention Ordinance 1963.
A fishing trip by 2 brothers on the second day of Chinese New Year turned tragic when one of them, a 25-year-old, died after falling and hitting his head on a wooden log at a fishing spot near Batu Tujuh, Jalan Trusan, Lawas. District Police Chief Deputy Superintendent Sila Kadong in a statement said the victim had gone fishing with his younger brother at around 12 p.m. on Wednesday, February 2nd.
Preliminary investigation found that upon arriving at the fishing spot, the victim slipped and hit his head on a wooden log, which caused him to be unconscious, while the younger brother tried to pull him towards the riverbank. However, the effort was unsuccessful as the victim was much bigger in size. Kadong added that the brother then contacted his friends for assistance. The victim was then rushed to Lawas Hospital but was later pronounced dead by medical personnel. The case has been classified as sudden death.
Many people are still not aware about cancer. The gap and deficiencies regarding the welfare of cancer patients are very significant in economic terms as well as in the aspect of patient logistics around the world. In conjunction with World Cancer Day 2022, the Kuching Cancer Advocacy and Awareness, or SCAN, has prioritized the challenges of cancer patients with the theme Close the Care Gap.
According to health experts, the majority of cancer patients are facing constraints such as financial problems, where they have to mortgage their properties to cover the cost of treatments.
So because of the economic reasons, many are unable to turn up for appointed visits. Although things have improved in Sarawak compared to 10 years ago, where patients now can get a lot of supportive care, cancer care at the nearest clinic, there's still need for economic support for patients to come for regular visits to the nearest hospital for chemotherapy. And many elderly patients do not want to be an economic burden to their children, and many will tell us they'll rather die with cancer than come for treatment.
Another health expert says that cancer patients who live in remote areas also have to cover the cost of traveling to the nearest hospital to get continuous treatments.
You know that there are a lot of factors that cause this gap between the statistic in developed country and us. So we can see that in Sarawak, everyone knows that there's always be a lot of barriers, including the logistic. We have like states have different distance, very far from hospital itself. Patients, they have lack of knowledge and awareness. Mainly they are denial to financial constraints and preference to seek for alternative medicine.
Meanwhile, Dr. Chi said many patients try alternative treatments without ensuring the validity or information of such treatments.
And then other problems that I face are misinformation on social media. So many patients are overwhelmed with the diagnosis of cancer and they get scared off by the word cancer. They will then turn to internet and be misled by this scientific sounding video, which promises them miracle treatment for cure without any unpleasant side effects. This harmful misinformation will delay early treatment. As you know, in cancer care, the earlier you treat, the better is the outcome.
Dalam episod seterusnya, My Husband-in-Law.
ยิ่งหนีอะไรก็จะเจออย่างนั้น ยิ่งเกลียดอะไรก็จะได้สิ่งนั้น เมยขอบอกเอาไว้เลยนะคะ ว่าพี่เทียนหนีเมยไม่พ้นหรอกค่ะ พี่เทียนไม่เจอกันอาทิตย์หนึ่งซิกแพคแน่นขึ้นเยอะเลยค่ะ
ทำไม อยากจับเหรอ
ที่จริงก็ยังขาดอีกหนึ่งเรื่องค่ะ ต้องให้คุณบารมีส่งตามไปให้ทีหลัง เพราะว่าเอาไปตอนนี้เขาไม่สะดวกพกนะคะ
Jangan lupa untuk menyaksikan My Husband-in-Law setiap Isnin hingga Khamis 8.45 malam di TVS saluran 122 Astro dan My TV.
ไม่รู้ว่าเมื่อไหร่จะได้เจอกันอีกด้วยนะคะ
Two giant pandas in the Moscow Zoo named Ruyi and Ding Ding will be choosing the winners for the Beijing Olympics. The animals were offered cones with national flags of the participating countries represented by the largest number of athletes.
Cones that got taken down by the giant pandas were considered the winners. No treats were placed in any of the cones to ensure the prediction impartiality. Beijing has loaned them to Moscow for 15 years in 2019 as part of a joint research project.
Now wrapping up TVS Nightline, at least 16 people have died and dozens hospitalized in Argentina after consuming cocaine suspected of containing a poisonous substance. Authorities in Buenos Aires province said on Wednesday, February 2nd, a number of arrests have been made and investigations are still ongoing.
Local media reported that the cocaine had been cut with a toxic substance, likely by a drug gang looking to cut costs amid a turf war with rival groups.
No puedo confirmar porque no estoy considerando esa información, pero hasta el momento, hasta hace un ratito, la información que tenía eran 12. No la quiero dar 12, no la quiero dar como fidedigna, pero es toda la información que tengo.
The authorities could not be reached for further information. The local government of one affected area, 3 de Febrero, said in a statement it was aware of the people being made seriously ill due to alleged adulterate cocaine and was working with emergency services and hospitals to prevent more deaths. It urged people to discard any drugs bought recently.
And that concludes TVS Nightline for tonight. Once again, I'm Hari Zainuddin. It's been a pleasure.